This is the River Wensum in Norwich. It's the river which runs through the city centre and once marked its boundaries. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take you for a walk along the river and show you what's to be seen. That's the plan. The plan might change because sometimes plans change because somebody rings me up and I've got to do something or something of that nature. And this is the place I've chosen to start, but it's not necessarily the best place to start because there is a very nice track which runs along it, and we're going to go there now. So that's the River Wensum as it goes upstream, and today we've got a roundabout here, but once upon a time there used to be a railway station on this spot, and it was called Norwich City Station. It was built in 1882, which incidentally is when the bridge behind me was also built. In fact, a number of bridges had to be built for the railway line, and the railway line went to places like Cromer on the coast, but it also linked up to places in the central part of the United Kingdom, such as Leicester and Peterborough, and there you could change and go wherever you wanted further north. If you wanted to go south, you wouldn't use this station necessarily. And the railway line is no longer here. The reason for this is, like many railway lines in the United Kingdom, it was pulled up, and that was done not long after nationalisation. The railway station here was bombed severely in the Baedeker raids of late April 1942. The Baedeker raids were launched as a reprisal for British bombing of Lubeck, which was seen as a part of German heritage. So it was a medieval town which went up in flames. Hitler wanted revenge, and he did this by attacking places which had cultural significance in the United Kingdom. And one of them was Norwich. Now, attacking Norwich wasn't so difficult for the Nazis. It was very close to the coast. It could be easily reached from bases in Holland, and even North Germany, for that matter. But can you imagine this when, for example, attacking a place like Bath? They have to travel a long way past industrialised areas, not far from Birmingham, not far from London, but instead they attack Bath. And the whole point of that is only to destroy culture and nothing else. So in 1942, Norwich Station was destroyed, but it continued in business, and some temporary structures were put out so the station could be there, and it continued to run passenger services, but these temporary structures turned out to be permanent. The station itself was closed in 1959. It continued to run for goods traffic for some time after that, but eventually that went as well. And today we have this rather nice woodland walk alongside the banks of the Wensum, as you can see now. There's a society which is called the Friends of Norwich City Station, which is seeking to preserve some of the elements of the station as survive today, and to continue, I think, to keep this as a woodland walk as it is at the moment, which is very nice. Now, there was a plan to sell off this land along the river. As you can see to the left, there are industrial facilities. I don't know how things stand here at the moment with this woodland walk. But what it does, though, is it goes 42 kilometres up to Aylsham, and I suspect it even goes further beyond that. Now, that'd be very nice to do on a bicycle. It's just outside walking distance, although having said that, I did walk 42 kilometres this summer, so I suppose it could be done. Hopefully there will be a bus to get back, and I'm sure there is. To build the station, a number of bridges had to be built because it was more or less on an island, and around the river Wensum. And I think also some land must have been drained as well. And drainage, of course, is a major thing in this part of the world. There are still some signs of the station, and here we have one, for example, which some steps, bricks on either side, a sort of a trench. I think this is one of these things where the railway engine came to a halt, and this was sort of the place they could do any repairs or what have you. You often see them in stations. I think I might be completely wrong on that one. I'm currently standing on a concrete pillar, and although it could be something else, it could be the sheds, I don't know. I'm not specialised in this type of history, I've got to point out. My area is Second World War, and but I do know a little bit about the history of Norwich, which I picked up in my time here, so that's what I'm trying to do. However, if I make mistakes, please write down what it is and let me know. Do it nicely, and I'll treat you nicely. On the other hand, a lot of people do things nastily, but they fail to say what's actually incorrect. Now, I'm not going to follow this any further. Hopefully I might be able to do that sometime in the summer. And I'm also hinting here at getting an invitation from somebody from a local society who might want to actually take me all the way to Aylsham. I'll go with me, I should say, because it takes something like that. I'll go on my bicycle and see something. But I'm actually going to turn back now. And I mentioned earlier mistakes, and here we can see one of them. And this is something I really should have known about, and I wasn't thinking properly. Can you see what the mistake is? I'm going the wrong way. I should have walked in a westerly direction. Instead, I'm going to be walking in an easterly direction. That means that the sun is going to be straight ahead most of the time. And instead of lovely views of bright blue sky, we're going to have somewhat darkened views because of the strength of the sun. Now let's just turn around back and you see what you won't be getting as I film here. So now the sun's really bright, and you see what a mistake I made there.